and so. Hi, Ellie and Rosie. Hope you're well this afternoon. I am from England. I'll get involved, Marla. Outside. Oh, these haven't come through yet. I think it was asking about the I think I might eat some yogurt next. One day. Oh, right, okay. If you want to go on about plate facts, you can, yeah. Well, I don't want to shout at at my microphone. Wow, that's a pretty interesting story. Right, me, that's never heard of that one before. Thanks for sharing. When they landed in the Sully rescue came quick after a while, the people went against this landing because you must return back to the airport in New York City. Wow, blimey. And I wonder if there's a story about that on the internet somewhere. Oh man. Damn, that sounds like the sort of thing you could make a video about on YouTube. Like, YouTube is full of like crazy stories, like crime dramas and all that. And they get like some of them get like over 1 million views. Thank you very much for sharing these stories because it does make these streams a lot more interesting. FedEx Flight 80. When the plane was landing, there was a bit of crosswind of when they landed. The plane bounced 3 times until the plane landing gear was damaged and the wings. Oh no, that's the worst thing that can happen to an airplane. It's like, when a wing breaks on a Formula One car. You don't know what's going to happen next with the car because it might just suddenly like veer off the road and smash into the barriers. I mean, especially when the rear wing brakes on the full-blown car, like the entire balance of the car goes AWOL. Rest in peace. That's all I'm going to say about that. FedEx Flight 80. Very sad story, we're going to be honest. I will delete that message. I don't know why I'm getting spam all of a sudden. What happened to the people in Solly then? Sorry, the first story told me about the Guardian plane in New York City. I think that's a really strange story. You said that if the captain tried to return, he would have crashed, but what did he do instead then? Oh, JAL flight 123. Oh no, it's just another wing failure again on a plane. Oh no. Okay, sorry. My fault. Yes, rest in peace. Can you tell me what happened to the Sully flight in New York? Because I'm really not sure what the pilot did instead. Okay, thank you. I will go and search it up on DuckDuckGo or Google or whatever I can find it on. He landed in the Hudson River. Oh, okay. Thank you for updating me on that. That makes sense. So was it one of those rare instances where the passengers had to leave while swimming through a river? No wonder he wasn't the most popular for doing it, but oh, that's the best thing about it. Everyone survived. I think that's what we wanted to hear, to be honest. The pilot should be applauded for ensuring everyone survived, not told off for the fact that he didn't land them back to where you were supposed to land, because otherwise he would have endangered someone's life and maybe had someone get severely injured at least, which is not good. Go on then. Go and tell us more stories. Absolutely welcome around here, since we've got nothing else better to do. Thank you. Qantas Flight 50, when they were mid-flight, with the second biggest plane ever, they had a bird strike. Name A380. When the engine exploded, it was also leaking fuel. They landed hard. Oh, that. Oh, did anyone survive that? Were there any casualties? In case we have to say rest in peace again. Yep, very good to hear. But wow, that's God. That wow. That's probably why sort of like Dirty's bird cam ended up developing a phobia of flying. Hello, MS Bonk, Eddie. Hope you're enjoying the stream along with everyone. Obviously, if you comment in the chat, I will give you a quick shout out. But if you're spamming, I will delete your comment. All right, you love playing pilot flight simulators. Damn, you sound a bit like what I used to be like when I was a kid, playing motor racing games all the time. Sadly, I just don't have that much enthusiasm for motor racing since since I was a kid. I know a lot about Formula One, but I know the season's going to start again in about next week or so. But yet, I don't know whether I could be bothered to watch it. To be honest, I think does it start in Australia? I'm not sure. And I think that's the problem with a lot of commercial sports nowadays is that they all charge a fortune for you to go and buy like a TV package still for a season. Yeah, I've actually found you very interesting today, Ollie. Alright, I actually do appreciate it because I know pretty much next to nothing about airplanes. So it's always interesting to hear someone who's actually knowledgeable about that sort of stuff. Okay, you enjoy yourself, Ollie. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very. Oh, okay. Pre-recorded live stream. Yeah, yeah. The problem with pre-recorded live stream is that they can't talk back to you whilst the stream is going on. It's just they might as well just load it in their normal videos and short sections. I don't have a favourite plane, I'm afraid. It's just, I don't know. It's just interesting to have someone talking about just something I don't know anything about. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But you want to ask me what my favourite car is, I mean, I'd probably go for something like a Super Impreza or maybe a Ford Escort, since they used to have cars in, what was it, the World Rally Championship. If you're asking me my favourite all-time F1 car is, then it's probably like a McLaren Mercedes MP420 from like 2005. I think that car won 10 races in 2005, but it failed to win either the Drivers' Championship or the Constructors' Championship because it kept breaking down all the time. Well, I mean, I suppose if you love it, going on airplanes, flying around the world, then yeah, you're going to know a lot about airplanes, but I don't really have that knowledge. I think I grew up being more interested in cars and Because it's not quite the same these days. I mean, I still know quite a lot about cars compared to some normal people out there. Skoda 4x4, Skoda, yep. Okay, that's interesting. Oh my god, how can I forget? There used to be an ex F1 world champion named Nicky Lauda from Austria who actually had like two different flight companies. I think one of them was called Lauda Air. I mean, he actually nearly got burnt to death in a horrible crash in Germany back in 1976, which he somehow recovered. He ended up winning the World Championship 3 times in his career, where he had actually took a 2 year break to launch his airline company because he got bored of being in F1 and he wasn't, well, we got fed up with the sort of absolute, some of the characters he get in the sport, and especially the lack of sympathy he got when he had this fireball accident at the Nürburgring in 1976 German Grand Prix. Oh, right, that's why you couldn't hear me. I was wondering, I'm like, am I talking that quietly? That's a bit weird. I mean, I uploaded another video on my other channel where I started shouting, and I didn't realise I was shouting because I was in the middle of a concert, and then someone in a comment was scolding me with something really, really. I don't even want to say what they said about me, but I don't even care because I've been on the internet for such a long time now, and I think I've probably said some pretty horrible things to people uh, once in a while, but only when someone says something pretty off to me. I don't even know. Skoda 4x4. I think I've got to look through the internet. Oh yeah, Skoda also have a world rally team, but they're not very successful. Okay, go ahead, my friend. Okay, carry on. Okay, it's 6 engines. Blimey, it must have been absolutely the fuel safe. This sounds like an interesting story about to come up if you know, remember what it was all about. So 47. Isn't that like the most successful commercial airplane ever, the Boeing 747? Oh right, we're not talking about crashes anymore. I'm getting a bit confused. You're now talking about the specifications of airplanes. Uh, I know the rules around Formula One have changed quite a few times in existence. I think they've had like engines as small as like 1.5 liters, you know, whether it be a normally aspirated, supercharged, or today's 1.6 litre hybrid turbocharged engines, which have all sorts of bits and pieces stuck on it, to anywhere as big as being like 4.5 litres normally aspirated back in the 1950s, back when they didn't know how to like produce that much engine power. God, and all the sort of engine sizes and shapes have all been different, like V6, V4, V8, V10. I think there's even been like a V16 engine back in like, what was it, the British Racing Motors Company had a massive 3 litre V16 engine, but that was a disaster because it was just didn't make any sense. Amazingly, there's only ever been one V12 powered car that's won a world championship, and that was Ayrton Senna's 1991 McLaren Honda that won the championship, amazingly enough. I think the reason why was it, or you see engines get smaller and smaller in F1 over the history of the sport, is because the bigger engines with more cylinders eat up way too much fuel to be like able to like avoid making too many pit stops and all that. I think if you look at the way Formula One has developed, just like most technologies, that the more efficient a vehicle or a product is, the better it will perform. Obviously, like I know a V12 engine sounds amazing, but it's almost certainly going to be eating up fuel like there's no tomorrow. And as a result, it means that you have to like constantly slow down all the time halfway through a race just to save fuel, which is really damaging, which means that it just makes the driver's life way too difficult for them to be able to win the race, particularly against like a smaller like V8 or V10 engine car, fighting against them that might not be as powerful but can save fuel much better. But then, of course, in today's F1, everyone has to use the same V6 turbo hybrid engine, which is only 1.6 litres, and it's been like that for now 11 years. So, what a shame. The internal layout allows them to carry 660 passengers. Yeah, that's why it's the most commercially successful aeroplane, because you can just shove people on like there's no tomorrow. Some donuts. Passengers may be on board for 11 hours, so the plane will be loaded with more than 800 meals and 120 litres of juice and water. The jumbo jet has been modified to perform a number of different tasks. Earlier, two jumbo jets were adapted to the ferry, not actually, but it was true, not like right now. The American Space Shuttle, wow. I mean, the Boeing 747 is an impressive piece of engineering. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that. I think, like, if you talk about the most impressive piece of engineering in F1, I think I'd probably go with something like maybe the Lotus Cosworth 79 car from like the 1978 F1 season, which had ground effects used in the car, which funny enough has actually returned to Formula One recently, which like allowed like the floor of the car to generate downforce to stop the car to the ground and achieve maximum cornering speed. I think the McLaren MP47 MP4 which used a Honda engine turbocharged. I think the last time they were allowed to use turbocharged cars until like 2014 was like an impressive car that won like 15 out of 16 races in 1988 with Alan Prost and Ayrton Senna. The Williams FW14B that Nigel Mansell drove to his only world championship using a Renault V10 was like a very in 992 used active suspension where the suspension would just automatically like change its right height by itself depending on height or how many bumps there were in the road. What else is there? Obviously, the Ferraris of the early 2000s, which Michael Schumacher won many world championships with, were just better than everyone else's. Sebastian Vettel's Red Bulls in the early 2010s were pretty similar. And then, of course, there were all those Mercedes that Lewis Hamilton drove to a world championship. When did I start doing YouTube? I think I started doing YouTube about 8 years ago. I've got two other channels. One's called Crystal Racing, and the other one's called Crystal Encore. So if you want to see my face, you can see my face there, and there's plenty of my face on both channels. Nose radar, yeah, that's very important on an aeroplane. Yeah, to like alert the pilot in upcoming danger. It's supposed to be an ASMR channel, by the way, so that's why I don't talk very loud. If you want to hear me like bark at a camera, you'll definitely get me barking at a camera on my two other channels that have like Crystal in their name. I mean, one of them is for was it Formula One, and the other one is a football channel. Get those landing gear weighs more than a family-sized car. Wow, blimey, that must be what? So it's over a ton. My God, that's crazy. Thank you very much. Yeah, much appreciated. You're doing the work for me. You're doing it for me. That's cheers. Thank you. But unfortunately, I think it comes to a point where you become so big that you can just take your audience as a bunch of mugs. I'm not going to say who, but they're all quite unfortunately it does become a thing that some just basically don't even want to say thank you, and if you start arguing with them, there's even some. Actually, I'm going to mention one person's name here, Finn McKenty, who will start arguing with you like a nut job because you even dare to disagree with them over something. I think you've also got to realise the YouTube algorithm can be pretty selective in who they allow to get views, especially over the last 10 decades, due to certain political events that made a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of internet providers very, 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 very cautious in terms of who they allow to become big on their platforms. I'm not saying that whoever the hell is in charge of, certain countries are like good people or bad people, but it does seem to be that YouTube and a lot of social media platforms are just so scared of like what they allow to be like viewed, and they will be very, very careful. It can be a bit over the top when it comes to blocking people nowadays. In some cases, they do go a bit too far because they're so scared of like real world conflict becoming a thing now, which is sad. But I think it's not so much about point rules of working. Sometimes like getting a shout out from like bigger content creators is always going to be key to success. Like, I've seen people like struggle for like 2 years, but then all of a sudden they get like they get to like join a live stream of a much bigger platform creator, and all of a sudden their channel blows up. I don't know. You know what? I think this has been very enjoyable. Want to look outside? I mean, the roses have blown out slightly. Just so you know, I'm being careful because I can't show you like photos next to where I'm saying it due to personal reasons. Thank you. Just trying to mix my channel up a bit. So it's not the same things like me eating or me cooking or whatnot. Interesting. I think I might do a bit of research. I think you may be interested all of a sudden. The neighbours chopped their trees last year about, just so you know, there was some conifer trees over there that were actually like twice the size for like twice the size they are right now for like the past decade or so. So yeah, it's actually nice to be able to see the sun at last. My family's been pushing for our neighbours to get those trees chopped. That was some great backs. I think I might end this stream in about 10 minutes time, but my god, it's actually one of my most successful streams to be honest, because I think the first 7 minutes, I don't know, I had a bit of a slow start today. Usually I get like 5 people watching within like 3 minutes, but today it took me like 7 minutes to get like at least 10 people watching. Nearly actually stopped my stream in the first 5 minutes because I only had like 2 people watching. I was like, wow, this is actually one of the worst streams I've had ever. The maximum it was, oh right, it was 40 people watching it. Yeah. I don't know, I think you've given me a lot of airplane stats. I think, I don't know. I know way too many Formula 1 stats because of what sort of character I am. Um, I think in the whole history of Formula One, I think there's only ever been 3 drivers that won the World Championship in their final season of racing. I think Michael Ford in 1958 for Ferrari. Sadly, he was then killed in January the following year in a car accident, but it turns out he was going to pass away anyway because he had some sort of liver disease and he was only 29 years old. 1993, France's only world champion, Adam Prost, won his 4th and final world championship for the Williams Renault team in one of the most technically advanced cars the sport's ever seen. And he gave his seat up to his long-time Brazilian rival Ayrton Senna, who then tragically passed away at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix a few months after his retirement. And then, of course, I think some people will be familiar with this story. Nico Rosberg won the 2016 championship, where in the first time in the 4 years he spent having Lewis Hamilton as a teammate, he beat him for what would be the first and only time in their 4 year relationship as teammates at Mercedes-Benz. And Nico decided to announce his retirement 5 days later because at the age of just 31 years old, because he was just frankly had enough of Formula One. Although you could argue, do I know Ferrari FXX? Yeah, I've heard of the car, yeah. I don't know, it's a very expensive advanced supercar. What else was I going to say? I think there's also been only 2 occasions in the whole sports history where the world champion took only a single race victory over the season. I think Mike Hawthorne once again in 1958 did it for Ferrari. I mean, having beaten 4-time runner-up Sterling Moss, who won 4 races of Vanborg, and of course Sterling Moss would never become a world champion, which is quite an amazing stat considering he finished runners-up 4 times. And then of course the second time it happened, 1982, Keke Rosberg won just a single race win in 16 races in what was probably one of the most horrifying seasons of the sports history, where legendary Canadian driver Gilles Villeneuve was taken away from us at the Belgian Grand Prix qualifying after a controversial race, the race before at San Marino, where his teammate Didier Pironi disobeyed team orders and took the race win when he wasn't supposed to. And then later on, Didier Pironi then had a horrifying crash at Germany where his car was thrown 30 feet off the ground and then landed on its nose and completely smashed his legs in, and he only just about was able to save his legs from amputation. And on top of that, there was also a young Italian driver named Riccardo Paletti who lost his life at the Canadian Grand Prix after crashing into, you guessed it, Didier Pironi. What an absolutely mental season that was. And by the way, I think that was also the that season was also one of only 2 seasons where a driver from Northern Ireland, was it John Watson in 1982, would finish. Oh no, he actually finished third in the championship, but he did finish on the same point as Didier Pironi, who ended up finishing second. I think the only time a Northern Irishman actually finished second in the championship was 1999 when Eddie Irvine came second to Mika Hakkinen, finishing just 2 points behind him. Your dad's car is a Skoda 4x4 with a top speed of 140. That's pretty good. Maybe, yeah, I might take a bit of interest in planes. I mean, I suppose if I become one of those people that travels around the world a lot, I might take more interest in planes. I don't know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Okay, I don't know who you are, Kish, but I think I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Bit of a strange comment to greet me with. $140 for a 4x4 car is actually pretty impressive. I suppose it has a lot of engine horsepower on it. Nah, just ignore him. Just ignore him. I don't want to. I'm not bothered by it, don't worry. Obviously, I know that Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher hold the record for most world championship wins with 7 wins, 7 title wins. Hamilton holds the outright record for most race wins with about 105 race victories. becoming the only first and only driver so far to pass the century mark, but legendary Argentine driver Juan Manuel Fangio was still holds the record for the highest percentage of race wins, pole positions, fastest laps, and podiums because he only entered, I think, 52 F1 races in the 1950s, back when they only had about anywhere between like 6 to 10 races per season. Because I don't think the World Championship was held in as high regard as what it is today. Today there's like 24 races per year, so obviously someone like Manuel Fangio never had a chance to become like go past winning like 24 races in his career, which, considering he only did 52 races, that is like almost 50% success ratio. Like there's no driver that I can think of that has a success rate as good as that. Like I don't even think Max Verstappen has that record. And to be honest, I'll be very surprised if he even gets close to like 45% win ratio, to be honest, because, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you don't have a good enough car, then you're most likely only going to win like, I don't know, 1 or 2 races, depending on whether you get lucky or not over a championship season. Do you have a gaming channel? No, I don't, because I don't have a gaming platform of any sort. I mean, if you want me to sit and sort of play some random game like, I don't know, Tetris, then maybe, but I don't know, I'm not really someone who plays games anymore. Geometry Dashboard is a game, I think. Yeah, that'll be interesting. 4 minutes, well, you've made my day for about 80 minutes, so it's not just 4 minutes. Uh, um, guess which racing driver has the most wins from outside the top 5 starting positions on the starting grid? He's from Finland, he was born in Espoo, and he spent the last 8 years of his career using car number 7, driving for Ferrari and what was then known as Alfa Romeo, which is actually Sauber. He won the 2007 World Championship, and I think he won like 6 races from outside the top 5. Oh no, I think what's his name, Max Verstappen, has actually overtaken him. Well, his name is Kimi Räikkönen. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh my god, Roblox, maybe. I don't know what's that going to be like, playing Roblox. Maybe, I might look into Roblox. Mert. Oh, Mercedes, I was going to say. Have I ever heard of Mert? I was going to say, yeah, Mercedes racing F1. Toyota once did race in F1 between like 2002 and 2009, but they never even won a single race. And he had an average net spend of, guess what it was? $400 million per season. What a waste of money. Embarrassing, to be honest, for such a rich car manufacturer to fail an F1 like that, to be honest. Okay, I know they didn't fail as badly as Jaguar did, which was really the Ford Motor Company running the team, but it was pretty horrible to say the least. Bagatana, that sounds interesting. I might have a look into that, Daniel. I know Skoda goes from the Czech Republic, which is something I know a lot of people are surprised about, because for some reason they keep thinking that they're from Sweden. Thank you for 2 likes. I think the reason why, though, I've never been interested in airplanes is that because only very few people ever get to like fly an airplane or like get to work on an airplane compared to like what you see in real life with cars, where you see, well, a lot of people get to drive cars and you get to see a lot of car mechanics. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much why we don't have like an aeroplane flying championship being like a popular sports series like you can see with like Formula One or MotoGP, which is obviously bike racing, or I don't know, WRC, touring cars, NASCAR, IndyCar. Because most people can actually relate to the feeling of actually driving a car compared to like flying an airplane, which is like alien to like 99% of the human population. Dog fight above your house. I don't know, mate. That's interesting. I mean, when you're flying an airplane, you're having to navigate like flying over mountains, clouds, weather conditions. That's sort of what you're mostly negotiating compared to like driving a car where you obviously have to turn right and left, signal, obey traffic lights. Maybe you might have to overtake a car if it like slows down. That's probably why motor racing is far more popular, because everyone can actually knows what it's like to drive a car in one capacity or another, whether it's a taxi, lorry, bus, or whatever it is. We all know what it's like. Well, a lot of people know what it's like to hold a steering wheel and 3 pedals in front of you. And of course, all right, you're from Germany, absolutely wonderful country. But anyway, you know, although, of course, a Formula 1 car only has 2 pedals because the clutch is located on the steering wheel instead of the floor. I'm also from England, although, of course, I'm not actually I have absolutely zero English blood in me. I am 12% Mexican, weirdly enough, even though, well, although I know when I say that, everyone thinks I'm actually trolling them, but I'm actually being really serious. TT, I think was there. I know there's like words that are similar in German, but they obviously spell it very differently. Like, I don't know, hello is spelled HALLO. It's hello instead of hello. I think the word perfect gets written with a K in it instead of a C. Perfect, yeah, we spell it with a C in it. I know there's like false friends in German, like when we say the word handy, we mean like someone who's like very handy and skillful at using like mechanical tools and using technology. was in German, the word handy means a mobile phone, which is it's pretty odd to me, but you know, yep. Well, at least it's not as stupid as Americans calling mobile phones cell phones. I'll just tell you that one. I do find it amazing that Michael Schumacher is actually the first ever Formula One world champion that Germany ever had. That's crazy, you know. I know what's it, Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen were first world champions from Spain and the Netherlands respectively, but they're much smaller countries and they're not like known for motor racing success or anything or like any big car brand. So it's not really that weird that they're the first from their nations to actually win a world championship. The Michael Schumacher statistic is actually mind blowing. That is weird. That is really weird to me. Wait, a part of British territory became American territory. Is that what you're trying to say? Is this like Sealand where like someone like took a bit of territory off the Sea of Britain and made it their own country? Yeah, fair enough. You know what? I think it's been okay. I'm a bit confused by what you mean now. That was a bit confusing. I don't even know how that works out. Uh, Angesief? Oh, I don't know what that is. I mean, the English as a language actually developed out of German and Norwegian and Icelandic, so I don't know what. I mean, English only became the sort of language it is because then they took away a load of words from like French, Greek, Italian, Latin, I think even a bit of Spanish. You can't speak super good English, fair enough. Well, at least I mean, you've spoken more English than I've ever spoken German, so you're really beating me in that respect. And to be honest, when I ever look at like a piece of German text, it feels like I'm reading like algebra or something, or some sort of complex equation, mass equation. So, nope, nope, no pets. Sorry. Uh, well, I mean, if I had pets, I'd probably be doing. Might well be doing pet videos by now. Oh, you have 4 pets. I mean, tell us what they are. I don't know what pets you have then. 2 lizards. Oh, I've never had a lizard. I think they shed their skin a lot. We used to have 2 other pets, a cat and a dog. I mean, a dog always needs a walk, doesn't it? Hamster, oh wow. We once had a goldfish, but I think a couple of them died because we forgot to clean the aquarium because my parents ended up running a takeaway and they just didn't have time to tame the goldfish anymore. And then they had to throw away the fish tank afterwards, so that was just sad, but hey. I think I'm gonna have to leave it at the end, I'm afraid. I hope you had a great stream. Like, subscribe to Encore ASMR if you haven't already. I'll see you again next time. Very sad. Rest in peace, obviously. I've not had any pets for like 2 decades, so I don't know what it's like to have a pet anymore. I just don't. I mean, it was a pair of goldfish, so it wasn't like I was people like running around a house with me or anything. They were just stuck in a fish tank the whole time. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Damn, yeah. I mean, if you have a pet that can run around the house, yeah. I mean, you're gonna be more sad if they're gonna pass away. You know, running around with you like they're your best friend, like a little child. Whilst a goldfish is just stuck where it is all the time, so it's like, yeah. I mean, the problem is, as a kid, I used to have a phobia of like massive dogs. Like, I don't know, it's just. Just a fancy walk. Okay, I don't know what a fancy walk by a cat is like. Okay, I'm not sure how a cat does that, but because I've never had a cat, but I'll take your word for it. Oh yeah, yeah. Now I understand what you mean. I think you need a lot of flexibility. I think a cat needs a lot of flexibility to do that, though. Dollar kebab. Yeah, well, we call it a dollar kebab over here as well. Oh, you just called it dollar. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I mean, you do get some people in Britain sometimes calling it dollar kebab, but not dollar. But not as in like a single word dollar. Because if we call it by short, we just call it kebab. alien. I don't know what alien is. Oh yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Sorry, I'm just really a bit. Why is no one else speaking but me and Ollie Rosie? I'm here, you know. I'm just a bit. I'm just letting you speak instead of myself. I mean, I do have two other channels called Crystal Racing, and the other one is called Crystal Encore, where you might see my face once in a while. Oh, right, there are too many people talking in chat. Yeah, I think because everyone else is either looking at what you're writing or they're listening to me talk and do stuff. I mean, if anyone doesn't want to speak in the chat, then you're absolutely free not to say anything and just watch me do stuff. Unfortunately, I think one of my subscribers on Crystal Racing recently passed away. A guy named Silverback Orangutan from America. I don't know why, but I presume he took his own life because I think he got kicked out of his marital home and lost his job, and then I don't know. I presume he was going to look for a job elsewhere in America, but then, I don't know, he probably lost hope, but then, what a sad end that is. Like, I kind of knew something was wrong with him, but I didn't think he'd be taking his life at the age of 53 years old. Don't know what, that really took me, I mean, I kind of knew there was something wrong, but it just feels sad that I couldn't do anything to stop it, because obviously he lives on the other side of the world. I live in Great Britain. Great Britain. It's actually a little bit chilly today. I have gone for a walk for the past week. It's just today's a bit cold. And I'm kind of busy talking to Daniel and Ollie in the chat. I'm drinking a cup of green tea. Oh my god. Oh my god. One day some scientist will probably create a piece of technology where they'll work out how, like, I don't know, extraterrestrial aliens actually communicate and what they actually say to each other, because Kazakhstan is a nothing. Dollar. I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. I mean, got this plush toy. It's a Pokemon Charmander. Jellyfish. I don't have a toy jellyfish, if you're wondering. What it is. I'm amazed Donald Trump has never made a burger restaurant in his life. I mean, he's made hotels. He's got his golf courses. He's got his real estate company, but he's never done a, but he's never ever been a burger bar, which is absolutely weird to think because there's nothing that sounds better than Trump burger or Trump eats. But enough about the bloke. Or better still, Burger Trump. By the way, I thought this was only going to last 20 minutes, my live stream today. I've ended up doing 2 hours thanks to Ollie giving me a load of aeroplane facts. I don't know whether Ollie is stuck at home or bored at work, but well, I mean, if I've made your day any better, then I'm welcome. I mean, you're welcome. Donald Burger. Is this like a cartoon series or something? I've got no idea. It sounds like you're reciting like some script from like a TV drama or something. I don't know what on earth you're talking about. You're welcome. I've got 3 of them, by the way. So, Crystal Racing, Crystal Encore. God grief. I mean, the news headlines have just been all about Ukraine and Russia for the past week. Oh my God, it's so annoying. To be frankly honest, I kind of find all 3 of their presidents to be really equally as annoying as one another. Putin, Zelensky, and Trump to be all quite annoying as hell, annoying as one another. I mean, it's been 3 years since the
conflict broke out, and it came literally like a day after the Winter Olympics ended, by the way. That was like, that Winter Olympics was actually held in Beijing of all places, where like most of the snow had already melted from the winter, so it was like, what the hell? Oh. I'm amazed Donald Trump has not had a heart attack, to be honest, from the amount of burgers he's eaten in his life. Like, I don't know what's his youngest son. I don't know what's Baron Trump is now like 6'9". Like his son has like grown up to be like, I mean, his son could be a basketball player if he wanted to be. Not that he ever will play basketball, but like he's definitely must have played basketball at some point during his like younger years, being so ridiculously tall. I'm sorry to say this, Daniel and Ollie, but I'm gonna end the stream now because I don't really have anything else to do. Apologies if you just joined the stream late. But yeah, subscribe here to a Encore ASMR, Crystal Racing, Crystal Encore, and do whatever you want. This has actually been one of the most enjoyable streams I've ever done, to be honest, thanks to two people in the comment sections keeping me very entertained. And I'll see you again next time. Peace out.